I'm Amin Shafizadeh from the Soft Today channel, and this is the first session of the Autocad software tutorial. Stay with me. As you know, in any of the engineering drawing fields you might be working in, where you need to create a drawing, from architectural and building engineering to industrial design, mechanical engineering, or other related fields, you need to be able to draw your plans in a very reliable and precise software. One of these programs, which is the foundation and the mother of all drafting software, is Autocad, the very software we have open in front of us right now. We want to get started together. Step by step, we'll learn both the 2D and 3D parts of this software together. Well, to get started, you need to have a version of this software installed on your system. Do you need to have the latest version installed? No. Any version you have installed is sufficient and you can easily work with it. But the training I'm providing is based on the latest version of this software. Right now, version 2026 is the latest, which I have installed here, and I'm going to teach you using this version. The first thing you need to do in this software is open a file and start drawing the lines you need, which we're about to do together now. So open the software so we can start drawing our initial lines together in this program. After you open the Autocad software. Now, as I mentioned, I need to open a file. If I want this file to be empty and have nothing in it, I need to use the new command. New means new. So here I need to press Ctrl+N, the first letter of new. When you press Ctrl+N, something like this opens up. This is asking you which template you want to use to open your files. Well, you don't need to know anything here for now. For now, just click on Open so your new file will open. Here I click on Open. As you can see, a new file loads and that's it. Now we can easily continue our work. If something like this pops up in the middle of your screen, which is because I installed a plugin on my Autocad, you can just close it. You don't need it. So I'll just close this, and now I have easy access to the Autocad software. For the initial steps, there are a few things you need to know. The first thing is that in Autocad I have a mouse cursor symbol. This same symbol that's moving in the middle of the screen right now is what we call the mouse cursor, and it's interacting with me. When it's a plus sign with a small square in the middle, just like you can see right now, that's the state it's in. It's just a plus sign, and there's a little square in the center of it. This means that I'm not currently in any command. But when it enters a command, its appearance changes. For example, if I enter a command that lets me draw something in the software, it just turns into an empty plus sign. That square in the middle disappears. For instance, right now I'm going to enter a command. You don't need to know what command it is. For now, yes, okay, I'm entering a command. Now take a look. It just became a plus sign. I've entered the line drawing command. So here the software just wants you to select a point. You just select a point and that's it. So when it turns into a plus sign, most of the time the software wants you to select a point on the screen by clicking. From now on, whenever I say click, I mean left click. Unless I specifically say right click, then of course it means right click. But when I just say click, it means left click. Now sometimes you might observe that the mouse cursor, instead of its usual arrow shape, appears as just a simple square. This can occasionally happen. Like when, for example, you enter the erase command. Okay, I'm entering the erase command. Again, how I entered the command isn't important for now. I'll teach you all of this later on. Don't worry. So now I've entered the erase command. When the mouse cursor turns into just a square, it means the software no longer wants you to select a point, but instead wants you to select one or more objects. For example, if I click on this now, I've selected one object. I click on this one, so I've selected the next object as well. For example, in the erase command that I'm in right now, it asks me to select so it knows what to delete later. Now, by pressing enter, you can see that these elements have been deleted, so we've become familiar with the different appearances of the mouse cursor. Another point we need to know is that down here in Autocad we have a bar, which is called this: command bar, or command line. In the command line or command bar, you interact with Autocad. Basically, you tell Autocad which command to enter, and in return, Autocad tells you what action you need to take next. In fact, you are having a dialogue with Autocad. Well, when you're in the command bar, on this bottom line, oh, I forgot to mention this, the most important line in the command bar is this bottom line, which currently says type command. Whenever it says type command here, it means it's asking you to enter a command. This means that you are not currently in any command, and it is asking you to enter a command. In other words, it's just like I told you before. When the cursor turns into a plus sign and a square, it means you're not in any command. So now, for example, I want to enter the line command The first command we learn in AutoCAD is the line command. To enter the line command, all you need to do is enter its shortcut. All AutoCAD commands have shortcuts, and I will teach you this software using shortcuts. Learning the shortcuts is really easy. Once you draw a map, you'll quickly become proficient. So the shortcut for the line command is L. All I need to do is type L. Just keep in mind, when you're typing the shortcut, there's no need to click down there. There's absolutely no need for me to move my mouse and click here. AutoCAD automatically recognizes it when you press L. Look, I'm pressing L. It immediately types it below by itself, and there's absolutely no need for you to click down there. Now you can see that when I pressed L, it showed me a list of commands here. In fact, by pressing L, AutoCAD suggests a set of commands to you. It asks you which of these commands you're looking for, but you really don't need to look here or simply search for your desired command after pressing L. Just press the shortcut and then hit enter. So once again, whenever I say escape, I always mean the very corner key on the keyboard labeled ESC. I press escape and exit the command. Now watch how I do it. All you need to do is press L and then immediately press enter. There's no need to look down there at all. I press L and enter. You can immediately see that it entered the line command. How did I know that? Look down here. It says you have typed the letter L and then you entered the line command. Now it clearly tells you what you need to do next. I forgot to mention this again. The line you see down here in the command bar, as I told you earlier, represents your current state. So you should always look at that line at the bottom, but the lines above it are your past actions. They show you what actions you performed in the past. So it tells you that in the past you pressed L and entered the line command, and now in the present it tells you to specify your first point. Therefore, to draw a line, the first thing you need to do is specify a point. So I come to the screen and click anywhere I like, and just like that, look. It starts drawing the line. Now what does it want from me next? It says, well, earlier I asked you for a point and you selected one. Now it tells you to specify your next point. So all you have to do is click anywhere you like on the screen. I will now click on another specific point, and the system then asks you to kindly repeat precisely the same action again. That is, it asks again, specify the next point, again specify the next point, and so on. All I have to do is just keep on clicking, and it consistently keeps asking me this particular one after another, in a continuous sequence. But the crucial thing is, when it specifically tells you to precisely specify the very next point in the process, then it meticulously writes, or within brackets, it thoughtfully gives you two additional alternative options to consider. One says close, meaning to close, and the other says undo, meaning to go back. Sometimes, like me, you've drawn a series of lines. But for example, you notice that the last line you drew was a mistake. Here you can use undo, meaning you can go back. How can I enter each of these? First of all, we call these subcommands, and whenever you need them, you can enter these subcommands. In the latest versions of AutoCAD software, to enter a subcommand, it has become like the Rhino software. All you have to do is move your mouse over any of these and click on it. So I move my mouse over undo and click on it. You see the last line that was drawn here has also been deleted. Now, if I click undo again, the previous line is also deleted. But if you want to work more professionally, you don't necessarily have to click on it. It's enough to just type its capital English letter or the capital letter. Now in undo, which letter is capital? It's U. If you pay attention, the letter U here is capitalized. Just keep in mind that the first letter isn't always the capital letter. Sometimes the first two letters are capitalized. Sometimes the second letter is the capital letter, so you need to pay attention to this. Another sign is that it's written in blue. Now if you look at undo, the letter U is in blue. So what should I press now to enter undo? Just press the capital letter and hit enter. I press U, then enter. See, the previous line was deleted. Now I want to delete this line. Again, U and enter. See, the previous line was also deleted. Now what is close? Close connects the point where I am now to the point where I started drawing the line and exits the command. So now if I want to enter close, how can I do that? Just press the letter C and then enter. So I press C and enter. See, it connected the point where I was to the point where I started drawing and exited the command. Now let me tell you about one more command, then we'll review everything once, and after that we'll finish this session together. The next command I want to tell you about is the erase command. To erase, all you need to do is enter the erase command. I type E and press enter. When you enter E and press enter or use the erase command, you'll see down here that it tells you you've entered the erase command and to select your objects. Select the objects you want to work with. So all I need to do is simply click on an empty spot up here, drag my mouse across the area, and easily select all of these objects, or as we say, cast a net. You can see that I've selected all of them. Now down here again, it tells you to select more, but I have nothing else to select. So I just press enter once and they're deleted. Let's do this operation one more time. That is, let's draw some lines and then delete them. Follow along with me as we redraw and delete them. I type L and press enter. I'm entering the line command. It asks me for the first point. Then it asks for the next points. If I make a mistake while drawing, I just need to press U and enter, U and enter, U and enter. And if I want this shape to become a closed shape, I just need to enter close. So I type C and press enter and it closes very easily. And if I want to delete it, I enter E and press enter. I select all of these like this and then I press enter. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. Be sure to practice, and to make sure you don't miss the next tutorial, definitely subscribe to the page. Also hit the bell button so you'll have access to the new tutorial as soon as it's released. See you in the upcoming tutorials in the next few days.